Hi everyone. So it's been a couple of weeks since my last Medley video, and since then I have been working on some orchestrations, right? I had this Medley template, which was my 5 clarinets plus piano, and I was creating new versions of that for each different song that I need. So in my sheet music section, I've got all of my MuseScore things that I've downloaded, or PDFs, or transcriptions that I've made, and I did have to make some transcriptions. And then in my orchestrations folder, I've got so far I've got 8 different songs that I've put into MuseScore for those clarinets and piano. And just through this process, I thought I'd show you a couple of tips that I found useful as I was working through this process. So here they are. So here's another nice technique when we're making these arrangements. Is that we've got this nice melody on top of some chords, and those chords are quite low. Look, the piano is helping a little bit in the mid-range, but it would be nice to have something in the middle, but I don't just want normal chords. And so something that is nice to do is to just copy the melody, put it into the second clarinet, and then let's re-pitch it. Now, in the old MuseScore, this was very easy. We just right-click on here, and it comes up. MuseScore 4.5 has changed things slightly to allow this input by duration to just be there all the time. Luckily, we can get back our re-pitch existing notes. There it is. It's in our settings, and now we've got it there. So I'll just select my first note, choose re-pitch, and now I can start choosing some other notes. So let's start together, and now I can just press the notes that I need. And then we can hear that melody. So, quick and easy for getting a harmonized melody. Here's another quick tip when making arrangements, especially medleys. We often need to know the tempo, right? And it can be useful to kind of figure it out. We want to put the tempo in metronome markings. So this piece, for instance, is Foss Hardenoi. But of course it's far too fast because I don't have a tempo marking. And so an easy way to do this is on my phone, or in this case on an iPad. And this particular app is free. This is the Metronome by Soundbrenner. But I'm sure many others have this ability, and that is just to kind of sing along the melody that you know and then tap in the corner. So I'll do da do do da do da da do da do 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 do. And we see we're getting to about 96. Then it's a simple matter of finding a tempo, put in crotch equals 80, correct it to 96. And now I should have which feels to me like a good tempo. So in this transcription that I have, that I've slightly adapted, it was just a piano part, but I've added this in so far. It is in 6/4 and then 4/4, 6/4, 4/4, and it's in minim equals 76. And the rest of my pieces are all in crotchet equals something. It's always a crotchet beat. And so I don't really want to change into this minim beat at this point. Luckily, there is a way to do this that can make it easier for us. And so I've got the piano part in here in MuseScore. And so what I'll do is create a new file. And what I've already done, actually, is create that new file. And so I'll bring it over here. And this one has 3/4/4/4, 3/4/4/4. And so I just did the math basically into halving things. And so let's just select everything here. And I'll copy it. And then come over to that new one. And now I know that everything needs to be half values. So I'll select the first bar and edit, paste half duration. And there we go. Now I can put in my tempo of crotchet equals 76. And this will sound the same. I can just do a bit of cleaning up with these, to make them a single bar, but that is already going to be much, much easier for me, and keep my musicians in the same kind of beat that they have been feeling. So that'll help me a lot. Sometimes when you're trying to arrange parts, you can't find music, and so you have to do your own transcription, and that's what I'm doing with this one called Sonfanger. And so to help me, I can play back a YouTube video, or I can play back a Spotify track, or things like that. But often it can be difficult to hear all the different layers, and that's where Audacity comes in, because I've loaded up the audio in here, and I can use the AI tools. So let's go and get some. So first I'll need to download them, and of course install them. Then we need to activate them, enable them. OpenVino, there we go, enabled. There we go. Now we have OpenVino AI effects, and I want to do the music separation. Let's try that again. All right, Control All, Effect, OpenVino, music separation. I want a four stem. Okay, and we can expect this to take a little while. Okay, so the plugin has run, and now I've got the original audio and then 4 stems. I've got drums, bass, other instruments, and vocals. And you can imagine this will be really useful to just listen to the vocals and transcribe that, just listen to the other instruments. But for what I'm worried about is the bass for now, so I'm just going to listen to that. And this is super useful. I can hear that much easier without the other instruments clouding what I'm listening to. And maybe it's not perfect, but I find this really, really helpful. And it's all free. And now the next step for me is to contact the client again, check that they're happy with all of these songs, and then move forward with actually putting them together into a medley. And I think that's where there's going to be some creative stuff happening. So I will see you next time for that part. Bye for now.